going on? This is Music in About a Podcast, episode 66.
66.
Yes, he's back.
We here.
He's back.
We here.
Yes, we're checking in. First pod of August, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
It's
we
been a
checking in,
minute.
man.
It's
I got
been a minute. It's been a minute.
Got my guy here. My guy,
Hey.
Dr. J. Faye, Cabernet J.
Oh,
Jamel's
yeah,
in
we
the
here.
house. Yes.
We here. It feels good to be back, man. It feels good. Feels good.
Blessing.
Man, I've been waiting.
I know, man. We had to catch you. Recording on a Sunday brunch.
I know, man. Hey, King's Disease 2 dropped. It's lit. It's lit out here. What's up with you, man?
Too. Oh man, chilling, man. We here. We got Wayne out. Got Wayne
finishing up Big Camp.
Yeah, over at Big Camp, man, with Leak and Juan. And shout out to Carbs and all the team. Yeah, everybody from out there. Marcus is out as well, the shooter. But we are here. We are here.
We are here.
Man, it's been a week, bro. It's been a couple weeks, man. We've been taking a break.
Yeah.
Everybody was traveling and doing everything these past couple weeks, which is needed. We're here for episode 66, man, to check in what is happening.
And it's shit. The last time we checked in, Suns was getting that ass beat. I just I just had my second day of work at Heights. I'm now 2.5 weeks in, 3 weeks in. Man, I'm finally starting to get the hang of things, like around like the job. I know we talked about it prior to this, like a couple weeks ago. Just like a lot of the shit that I'm doing is like new. Like it's just like almost like a culture shock. Like you go somewhere and you're like, damn, like this is how they do things here. Like, damn, this is how this works. And like, you know, I just felt so deprived of like learning just simple shit, like growing up, like how to use certain tools, how to use this or that. And that's like all that I've been doing right now is just kind of learning that. Like how to use a socket wrench, like straight up. Like I never had to use one. Why the fuck did I need to know how to use a socket wrench? I didn't need to. But you know, like there's clamps, there's gaskets, there's nuts and bolts that you got to use to like get the equipment off, to clean the tanks, to ensure that when harvest actually starts and we start picking grapes, that everything is ready for those tanks to be refilled with the new wine. And then you start thinking of it, you know, like this is wine that is ageable. Like, you know, like the price on stuff at Heights, like it'll like it's not like we're not talking about like a $20 bottle of wine. Like like, you know, like it's like the delicacy of everything. And like you realize things like come full circle, like, hey, like this gets cleaned to put this in it so it can sit, so that can be the next vintage that goes on, you know, the website, or like starts showing in tastings for people to buy at the end of the day. But it's been a pretty, like I said, life-changing experience, just learning. I'm starting to get the hang of a lot of it now. We actually might start picking grapes on Tuesday. So yeah, that's pretty exciting. Just, I mean, you're really here for that part of it, or like
obviously, yeah,
that's all you see, or like no, it's like, oh yeah, like you pick grapes, that's harvest. Obviously there's a lot of shit that goes behind it, like cleaning the tanks, like prepping for harvest has to be done. But I think we finally get to pick grapes on Tuesday. I'm all settled in at the Airbnb that I'm at. Shout out to the Roots Fund again for getting us here. Come through. We here. But yeah, man, it's Heights has been great. Just been meeting a lot of cool people, hanging out with a lot of cool people. Got to shout out the event that I was just at last night. Shout out to the wonderful human being, Darwin. He is also, he doesn't work at Heights, but Heights is part of the Lawrence family group, which has a bunch of wineries attached to it. So he works with the Verzuz brand, doing something super cool in Napa that needs to be done. Started his brand co-fermented, which is just again like making wine more accessible at the end of the day. So we try to do that here on the pod. They're looking to do that as far as the LGBTQ community goes, making sure everyone has access, making sure there's a community that's like standing by each other at the end of the day, and just showing that we here. I mean, like I say it every episode, we here, like we are here in Napa and there's space for all of us. I've met tons of people that I didn't think I would meet this soon, like in like this journey where, like they've just dropped knowledge, like, like we can drink wine, because we can, like, like it's not limited to the 40, 50-year-old white man. It's not limited to the 60-year-old white woman that has a cellar, like we can, like, this is here for us to enjoy. The money is here for us. Literally everything is here for us. So yeah, I'm just in a mode right now, man. It's great being out here. I'm sure I missed a lot, but we'll also check in more. But what's up with you, man? What's going on with you?
Just the last pod. What's up, man? We got a house.
Yes,
that's the biggest thing. I mean, it's just nice to buy your own product once in a while, right? You can get high on your own supply for sure. So yeah, we'll see how that goes through. We're in the pending process, so things haven't wrapped up quite yet, and super excited to be calling East Grand Rapids home sooner or later. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. That's giving up the condo, but I think that in hindsight, one of these days we'll be at a higher floor for sure. Looking over the city. So, with that being said, man.
So is that like more of is that, or you grew up right outside of East Grand Rapids, or technically?
I grew up Alger Heights. I mean, it's I guess like kind of outside of East Grand Rapids, but a little bit different. Like it's though they're about 6 or 7 minutes away from each other, it's definitely a different feel. And Alger Heights is amazing. Like so yeah, I grew up like right outside of there, truthfully speaking, a bike ride away. And
so
the opportunity popped up, and it was like a good live and flip opportunity. You know what I mean? Something to make your own. And like we just got our appraisal back, which is the way that the bank values the property versus like Kelly Blue Book for property, and it came in well above our price. So I knew it was a good buy at that point in time, and that's the only way I could make a move. Or we would make a move as a whole. So it's a good look, man. I'm looking forward to it. A lot of work to be done. Hoping to hire all that out and have it all done. Hopefully getting a cellar in the basement. Not hopefully, but we'll get a cellar in the basement.
Yes.
Biggest thing is always keeping your eye on the closing. So yeah, man, I should be wrapping up with that in September. Have all work done in the property. I set unrealistic time frames for myself, but I usually hit those dates. So hopefully wrap that up by the beginning of November, and be moving in after that joint and seeing how that goes. Man, I'm looking forward to it. A lot of work. And it paid off. So I had to put off, I've been car shopping for a little bit, so put that off until September, October.
Oh yeah, sure. Hey, man, I'm proud of you, my guy, man. Proud of you. Cheers.
Gotta put the work in. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
Yes.
Cheers to you. Cheers to us.
Yeah, man. I mean, we both making moves, man. And I would say, man, like, one thing I would say is, because I've been getting a lot of pushback. People always are like, man, like, I don't want to be tied down to somewhere. In terms of real estate. Real estate is one of the best vehicles for us, like, because you don't have to, like, you buy a property, you're not tied down. If anything, it's freeing, right? Because you're able to. So if you buy a property and you don't want to be tied down to your hometown or your area or wherever you at, you can always rent that out, and it'll pay for whatever move you're making on the other side. And I'm living proof of that, for real.
True.
And that's one thing I would say over this fine bottle of red. What you drinking, man?
And I'm drinking. Shout out to the homie Scott. He is also from Michigan. I met him a couple weeks ago at this wine bar called Day Grape in Napa. There's one I think in Oakland as well. But he's from Michigan. I chopped it up with him. Just kind of gave my story. I gave my little story, told him about the pod, like I gave all. But yeah, we had chopped it up. I was with him a couple nights ago. He has his own wine brand called Mountain Tides.
Oh, wow.
He really only makes Petite Syrah.
Okay.
Just a funny story. He told me the other night. He was like, I used to hate it. So like he wasn't a big fan of the grape, which is just kind of why he wanted to make it. He's like, he said there's definitely been some players like in the game like since that time, where they're making some good like Petite Syrah, but it was just something for him to just like be like, okay, like I haven't seen this done the way that I would want it to be done. So he literally came out here, kind of figured shit out, and gifted me with a bottle. This is the 2020 partial carbonic Petite Syrah. Only 9 barrels have been produced. Alcohol content 11.9. So something super light. I had it on a little chill earlier. It's been outside, and I didn't grab the chiller, so it's probably a little, again, getting a little lukewarm. But it's kind of like a light-bodied red, something that's good to, like I said, stick in the fridge or the freezer for that 30-40 minutes before you drink it. Yeah, but I'm rocking with the homie Scott from Mountain Tides today.
I love it, man. This time around, got Dancing Flame, the red blend, 2020 Ojos del Salado. Yeah, man, we have 70% cab.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's super heavy on that. With this wine, taste is a little dry. It's a full body style though, and we got like a lot of blackberry in there, some cherry flavors as well. But this is the kind of drink I would have with some type of grilled meat, some grilled vegetables. Yeah, I'm really enjoying this so far. Obviously, getting there, but yeah. Otherwise, man, decent price. I think this was around $30-$40. So this is the kind of thing that you definitely want to pair with some dinner and sit back and enjoy so far. But yeah, we'll see how it goes out of Chile, by the way. Yes.
Love it.
This is episode 66.
66.
Yes. Let's get into the culture.
We here. Let's go.
What's going on? It's Music in a Bottle podcast, episode 66. Kicking off with
the LOX
versus Dipset, the recap of the Verzuz.
Hey.
Yeah. Man, so going into this, Jamal, who did you have?
So for me, honestly, like the pod is really kind of like, I always gotta shout out Greg at Smoka day one. He like, I think told us, oh, like the LOX is coming out like with a new project, or like they dropped a new song. And like growing up, like I never really dived into more of that. Obviously, like my uncles, just people that were a little bit older than me, like listen to that. So like I was more of like, I kind of like my first experience to like a group really from the New York scene, was kind of Dipset. So like Cameron, like, like Jewel Santana, obviously, like all of that was like, it's kind of like my first, like, okay, like this is a group that, granted, like I was obviously young, but around the time that they were popping is when I started getting into more music. So I definitely was like, all right, like Dipset for sure. Obviously like Jadakiss after this, I think, like, I mean, the dude got to be up there with, like he got to be up there with, the best of them.
The Jay-Z.
Yeah. He's got to be up there. But definitely, like, again, like I didn't watch the full battle, just like kind of caught like the highlights of like Jada doing his thing, which, he takes this serious. Like he comes prepared for whatever he has to do. He comes prepared, but I definitely was leaning more towards, all right, like who did I want to win? Probably Dipset, because that's who I kind of grew up, or like had knew of more than the LOX until recently, like with the podcast. But yeah, I was wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say my respects. I'm a big Bad Boy fanatic. Like my pops was
Yeah.
on that, and I like Biggie was everything in my household. So the Locks, like, I resonate with you in a way. Like the New York scene, and it took until I was like in high school to really like dive deep into Biggie. I think the Biggie do,
Yeah.
like man, that like I forget the name of that album, but the Biggie duets came out or whatever that was, and I went back into like the whole. This is when you had LimeWire. I was downloading like the Locks old stuff,
Yeah.
like all that. So, and that was the time where I like got introduced to like how good of a rapper Jada was, who Sheik
Mhm.
was, who Drag On, like all the people that was like really high school was
Yeah.
huge for me to find out music and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I went with the Locks on this just because I did not like Dipset's music growing up, point blank.
Yeah.
And I was like the only person I really rocked with in that whole group was Cam, and Cam like his first album was really dope, but like Mace
Yeah.
had a huge influence on that
Right.
if you ask me. So like that was why I went with them. And then today, like the performance, man, Jada just rocked it. Like you see what hip hop had, like bar for bar.
Yeah.
I don't know if bar for bar Dipset can hang with the Locks because that's like all they did. Like they're
Yeah.
rappers. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah. They rap.
Yeah, and then I feel like Cameron might be the only one lyrically that could stay in there, but like Jim Jones, like he's progressed into a lyrical rapper kind of, but I just don't feel
Yeah.
like it's there yet. Yeah.
Oh no.
So
Yeah. For sure. For sure. Again, like I said, I've uh who did um who did Jada go up against in round or like his first time? Was it
Fab,
Fab?
he
Fab.
went
Yeah.
Fab, and I was thinking like maybe Fab and Cam would have been a better matchup, but I don't know if they had the star power there.
Yeah.
But yeah, he went up against Fab and mopped him.
Yeah. And like literally like the dude just came like he came to do what he needed to do. Like he said
He,
verses. He said,
yep,
okay, Fab, all right, I'm gonna play some shit.
yep,
He said, okay, so we're going up against Dipset. I'm gonna,
prepared, ready,
I'm gonna bring the
ready to
shit.
go.
Yeah,
Yes,
ready to
ready
go.
to go.
Ready to
Um,
go.
and it was a truth. So yeah, I that's how I felt like that's what I felt like. And Jada came out. He showed why he's one of the best lyrically top
Yeah,
5 dead or alive. Like, yeah,
yeah.
I
Has to
was
be in
thoroughly
that
impressed.
conversation for sure. Has to be in that
Yep,
conversation.
definitely. And with that, we had Kanye this week, tipping. I mean, the biggest news 2 times in the past 2 weeks. Was Kanye dropping Donda. Just kidding. Um,
Just
yeah, man.
kidding.
So
Man,
I purposely wanted to digest it myself, so I have not dived into any of the live streams. I've heard
yeah,
amazing. I haven't heard anybody say that was whack, which is crazy.
yeah,
But yeah, I would love to hear your thoughts on it and let you lead the people.
yeah. So I tuned in. So I didn't watch the original one,
Okay.
whatever that was 2 weeks ago. I was actually drinking just like some crazy wine with some cool folks. So like I didn't get a chance to watch it, but Thursday I was able to just kind of sit back and like watch some of it like before bed here. And man, like what I heard was like it's hard to talk about Kanye. I mean, like it's not hard, but it's just like, man, like the dude is a fucking genius. Like he
Yeah.
like to like backtrack a little bit, like when the first one came out, or like when he did the first like sellout of Mercedes-Benz Stadium, I was like talking to a couple people and like I was like, honestly, like Kanye would be the type of dude to, like he would release or like, okay, Donda is the album, right? Donda is
Yeah.
the album. So we know that. We're expecting it. But Kanye would be the dude to be like, hey, this is the album. You just got it live streamed. That's it. Like
Yeah.
I just sold out Mercedes-Benz Stadium twice.
Yeah.
There you go. That's the album.
Yeah.
Obviously, like he's gonna drop it at some point, but that was just like, I mean, like you think about Kanye, and it's like he would, he's he's turned into such like a performance artist where he doesn't have to say a word. He lets the music play, and he's doing whatever it is on stage. And like we've seen this countless times where like his presence is just felt, and the music just happens to be like second nature in the background, and it's just as great as his presence. But he's able to do something like this where he didn't have to say a word during the whole live stream. Like he just performed it. And I think he did that, or like there's a video, I think it was I don't know what tour it was. Maybe it was the Yeezus tour, maybe it was the My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, but like he just played the beat to I think it was Blame Game or whatever. And just everybody went nuts. Like that's literally all he did.
Oh, it was Runaway. And he just played one.
Yeah, oh yeah. Runaway, and, yes. Yep. Just I mean, like just to have that presence, to have that like type of nature to you where you're like literally, and like we mentioned this before when he did the podcast with Joe Rogan, like the dude is just a genius. He's just light years ahead of everybody in terms of what he's doing. But the live stream was dope. I think I heard that the track on the live stream that played with Lil Baby and The Weeknd, it's going to be the first single. So that might be coming out Friday. Yeah. Okay. Hurricane. So that might be coming out Friday or whenever. And I think they said the album, I think it's set to or like, what does your iTunes say? The 15th or something?
I don't know. I just says pre-order for my, hold on, give me 1 second.
Because I think it said like expected like the 15th or something now, but
I thought it was supposed to come out today, but that's why I pre-ordered it. Expected August 15th. Is he the only person that has expected on his album? He got 24 songs on here. That's crazy. But yeah, pre-order may change without notice. You'll be charged and received items from this pre-order as they become available. Shout out to him. That's the first album I bought in a minute.
It's fucking crazy. And like we have conversations about Kanye a lot. I just had a conversation about him like the other day. Just like, and the dude, I mean, you can say what you want about like his politics or whatever it is that he's doing, or like his like antics, but when you think of him just kind of becoming more of, again, like a performance artist where he's able to release music, but also he's able to become more like of a performer versus, you know, music, which, you know, like you have to set yourself up in the long run too. Like you gotta, like, music is there and like that'll always be a part of you, but like what else, which we'll kind of get into at the end of this segment with another person who probably will never release another album in her life, but
doesn't have to for sure.
Literally.
I mean, it'd be super dope to see a J and J joint album, which Justin LeBoy touched on.
Heard that.
That might be coming out before the end of this year. I say there's no truth. I think that's all cap. But yeah, I would be thoroughly excited to see both of them in there. You know, hear Ye talk about, I mean, how did Jesus talk, and then Jay-Z dropped the Elohim on him. Like that'd be solid. Yeah.
Well, it's also nice. So like with the live stream, there's obviously like a Jay feature. I heard bits and pieces of it. So like there was always that talk of like, oh, like they've like been separate from each other. Like, you know, Jay doesn't fuck with Kanye. Kanye's trying to, or like, I don't know, like there wasn't beef, but it was just like, okay, like they're like going down their own paths and there's no way they're gonna realign down the line. But it's definitely hopeful, and it's nice to hear that you know, things may be in the works, or you know, I mean, like he's on the album, so I mean, I don't honestly, like, end of the year, probably not.
I know. So we'll see on that.
We might get Donda.
Yeah, we might get Donda. Might. Yeah, we'll see on that. But what did just wrap up was the Olympics. Men's basketball team ended up getting gold. I saw a women's basketball team ended up getting gold. Shout out to a lot of, I mean, I want to make sure I get her name right. Is Felix. Allison Felix.
Cassandra or Allison,
Allison.
yes.
Allison Felix.
Yes.
Shout out to her. Amazing story for sure. Yeah, just shout out to everybody that held it down for the U.S. Most definitely. You know what I mean? A lot of talent out there. Recap, man. What were your thoughts?
Man, I got a chance to. Timing has just been weird with the Olympics this year. Like usually, like I'm able to watch certain things, but like when it's not here, like in the U.S. at any capacity, like timing. I mean, like I think the gold medal game came on like at 11:30 p.m. ET, which I was like in the middle of doing something or like at dinner here, so like I couldn't watch the game. Okay. But it's been nice to just kind of catch up on highlights. Like I ran one day, like at the hotel I was at, and I was watching men and women's like the 400-meter relay or something. And just like there's just something about the Olympics that's just super dope. Like whether like obviously like we're from the States, like we're from the United States. When someone like Allison Felix does her shit, dope, super dope. But at the same time, like I respect everybody that does get a gold medal because they worked hard for that shit. Like, you know, whether it's China, whether it's fucking Australia, whoever, like it's just dope to see somebody train so hard for something and to get the results for it. You know, like USA couldn't, or like the basketball team could have lost and like it would have been, damn, like that sucks. Like shit is tampered for like USA basketball. But at the end of the day, you know, France or whoever, Slovenia would have came with it and like, hey, like they are here to compete just like us. And who says they don't deserve a shot at gold? So like just to see like these other countries just like bring it. The Olympics is always cool for that reason. I'm like the same way with soccer. So like when the World Cup comes on, it's just dope. It's like it's just dope to see the countries like, hey, like I got one shot, like I'm on TV now. Like the whole world is, or like the whole world is watching. Like, all right, let's come with it. But speaking on the basketball team, they obviously had their troubles.
Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. They did have their troubles. I knew that they would pull through. I just think they had to get it together, man. And I was thoroughly impressed by the play of Zach LaVine. I was thoroughly impressed with the play of Jrue Holiday and the games that I did watch. Kevin Durant stepping up and making sure that he put the country on his back. He dropped 40 in one game, I believe. We'll touch on it later, but I'm really interested to see, like, obviously LeBron's never playing again, right? I don't know if I've ever seen Steph in this play. And if so,
I don't know.
Yeah, cool. Or Kawhi. But it would have been interesting to see, like, when you talk about, man, just imagine like LeBron, Steph, and Kawhi. James Harden, Anthony Davis. You know what I mean? Like that. Those are the players that would have been, when you talk about like, that would have been crazy. And a healthy Kevin Durant and a Dame Lillard and they didn't need him. That's why we were just saying we were all kind of pissed off at Kevin Durant. Like, yo, you gotta pick this up. We losing a friend. Oh, like Rudy Gobert. They didn't have any bigs outside JaVale McGee. Like, so when you're talking about Rudy Gobert out here, like it just didn't look. Evan Fournier is doing work. Like, so yeah, and a little concerned on Slovenia coming through with Luka. But yeah, man, I thought it was really interesting. So with that being said, I'm happy they pulled through and did what they had to do for sure.
Definitely happy they pulled through. Yeah, definitely happy they pulled through.
I noticed this week that Aaliyah's discography will be added to Spotify, which is super dope. I saw that. I have been a witness to trying to pull that up and play some of her music and then not being there for sure.
It's like always super dope. We were just talking about somebody. Shit, maybe it was Aaliyah, like literally like a few months ago. But somebody that talks about their stuff finally getting like released to streaming, which it may have been her, honestly. But yeah, it's streaming is so. You said what?
Was it Hove on Spotify?
No, like it wasn't Ho, but it was I'm pretty sure that it was Aaliyah. But we had a conversation and like it was like, dang, like it sucks that there's like a process to go through to like get this music here through like legalities of everything. But also like, you know, you're in a world where you know, like you gotta go through those loops, or like you gotta go through those processes regardless. Like I remember J. Cole saying at the end of 2014, Forest Hills Drive, he was like, y'all be giving a nigga a hard time on the samples, man. Like, you know, like if you release it to the world, you know, like I should be able to use your shit how I want. I'm gonna pay you for it, but I shouldn't have to go through like
so many hoops, leaps and bounds.
To get there. But definitely like looking forward to that. Like the world needs it. You know, also like it's like a gift and a curse. Like you want streaming to be, I mean, like streaming is there for us to enjoy. So like you want to enjoy everyone that you want to listen to. So like to have artists, you know, as iconic as Aaliyah, you know, get the music there. You know, we talk about mixtapes all the time. Like they get samples cleared for mixtapes that, you know, like deserve to be heard more and more. Like not just through YouTube, but like you want to hear it on Spotify or Apple or Tidal or like wherever it is. But
I agree.
Super dope.
Bro.
Super dope. I'm looking forward to it.
Definitely. This is an artist that I really want to listen to. And in addition to that, big shout out to Rihanna for most definitely. Round of applause to Rihanna for becoming a billionaire officially this week. Not too much to say here, but shout out to the Fenty brand, which I believe is majority of that. And when LVMH, you know, that when just their reevaluations, Bernard Arnault, overseas, he's the owner of LVMH. It's all luxury brands.
Yep.
But they definitely went through and purchased Fenty, from my understanding, and she becomes a billionaire with that. So shout out to her. One of the most expensive brands, I believe. Bernard Arnault is like it has to be. I think he just overtook Jeff Bezos as the richest in the world. But when you talk about Louis Vuitton, Hennessy, when you talk about the brands like that, luxury.
Yeah, we just talked about like Moet. We just had the conversation about Ace of Spades and all that, which is I think is a part of that house. So yeah, crazy. Yeah. Shout out to her. I was having a conversation with people too, and this was like before like I heard that news dropped. I was having a conversation. People were like, "Oh, like who are you looking forward to hearing drop again?" And they were like Rihanna, and I was like, "Yeah, bro, she's not dropping. She's not dropping, man. She's found that lane where music is always there. Like if she wanted to go back to it, she could do it and go number one. Like that's nothing, but you know,
like definitely.
She said something. I like read a quick article like on Forbes. There were she said 3 words. She just said God is good. And
that's what's up. Yeah.
I think that's just a testimony to, you know, like you get to a certain point and it's just like, man, God is truly good. Like I'm good where I'm at, and I gotta thank the man above for putting me in that place. So shout out to her at the end of the day. I'm happy for if she decides to drop music again, cool. But if not, she is well off doing her thing. So shout out to her.
Amen. Last but not least, man, the baby is pulled from festivals and for homoc. Let me say this again. The baby was pulled from festivals and concerts. And I want to dive too deep here because I hate highlighting stuff like this. But he was pulled from festivals. He had a quote around that comes off super offensive, not only to just the LBGT community, but
Yeah.
just to anyone, right? Homophobic comments at Lollapalooza, I believe, out of Chicago, and yeah, man. It's just funny with the baby, like you want to love him, but at the same time, it's just continuous like PR things, and
Yeah.
I think he has an angle in what he's trying to say, but at the same time, the way he's going about it, it's
Yeah.
I think it's just the wrong way. So not here to be judged, right? I mean, sorry, you are not on earth to judge others in the way that they live their life. Number one,
Yeah,
and number two,
for sure.
There's repercussions to everything you say. That's why you got
There
two
is.
ears and one mouth, right?
Yeah,
So,
like I mean, like you're or like when you're on like like even like the level that we're on, like we like we put disclaimers on like certain things when we're talking about certain topics, or like we like we say like, hey, like this is our opinion, yada yada yada. But for someone like him, I mean, like I saw him. It was my last show before COVID kind of like shut
crazy.
the whole
I
world
know that.
down.
Yeah, y'all
Yeah,
going busy. Blame it on
and
baby.
man, who knows who had COVID at that concert?
Yeah,
but man, the last concert before COVID, and like he, I think like the day before, like he was somewhere and like there was issue, or like he was on camera like punching like some other female.
Yeah.
Literally the day before, and the way he even like went about that, like during the concert, was just, it was just like, like he's an artist, he's a performer, and he's, like he tries to with that, like it seems a little different. Like he's able to like take these angles and be like, hey, women love baby, right? Or like, or like, I love women, like yeah. But like when you start again, like I was just at an event, where I was around like a lot of people that, were not straight or did not recognize as, like a certain, you know, denomination, or, male or female, like, like to be around that, like you just have to, know where you're at, what time you're in, or, and like, man, like you got to know, your team has to know, especially like,
know the people around you, know where you at, like, and also exactly. But then there's also exposure, like it's not that I'm not blaming baby, but like, what is your exposure been, right? I think it's two sides to it, but they gotta have some type of like a PR 101 for these guys out here. Like you make this much. I was just listening to Kanye West today, and he said Travis Scott is an artist. And Travis Scott, what's different from Travis Scott and Dropbox? And the founder of Dropbox goes to the market, and they have 10,000 employees, and they go to the stock market and they launch for $10 billion. What's different from Travis Scott as an artist and Dropbox? It's a business. Travis Scott is a brand. It's the same thing. And when you think of the baby, it's the same thing. You have to have employees. You should have this. You should have HR. You should have this. So it's not because as much as I feel for the baby, I mean, I don't feel anything for the baby. I do feel for the people that are employed by the baby, because they lose a lot of bread. Like a lot of people don't think that when they put like, the baby is a company. Like it really is no different from Apple. It's no different from this. It is so many people that's employed. So Jamal, you think about yourself getting put on. You got Jamal, who is your right hand, and he's making $100,000 a year from your shows, and he's over security, and he's over this. That's exactly what, like, that person gets affected. We don't even know who, like, a lot of people, Jamal's not on the forefront for you. Jamal's just working the scenes behind, but he's making $100K, and Jamal, whatever, like, he's got his family, he's got this and that. Like, we don't know that. We don't know that. It's just like a pod. Like, Mark, okay, so for instance, this shuts down. Like, people think about it. You know what I mean? We got people behind the scenes that run this, or people that feel, you know what I mean?
Right.
We got. So it's just like, you got to think about that. It's not, Yeah, so I just
Yeah.
you gotta have that's what I feel like, but it's easy for me to say, right? I don't know what the baby's thinking about right now. Maybe it's just that's his beliefs, and
Yeah.
dude, you're affecting a lot of people. What you say, you know, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
kill so much. That's one thing that he said, and that's gone. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
And it's like it's like super crazy. Like you like look at, I mean, like the reason people didn't like do shows was
Yeah,
because, or like, like they released music, but they didn't drop a tour because they couldn't,
huge,
like
huge.
they couldn't make money. Like they couldn't, like they, like one, like they couldn't make money. And then you talk
Yeah,
about the security, you,
yeah.
you talk about the people that get hired to,
Run with you, your driver,
yeah,
your people.
yeah,
Like, you're not only your team, your PR, but everybody who's. I mean, and then we just talked about samples, like who gets paid. Like that's just it's just so
yeah,
much more. So I'm gonna switch off that because that makes me
yeah,
frustrated because it's like,
it
damn, bro, you
does.
just
It
affected.
does.
You don't even like. Of course, you affected the people that were hurt by that statement, but then you got people behind the scenes, and I'm hoping that they're fruitful and paid and everything.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
that's a part of the king's disease, and hopefully he's finding a cure to that. You know what I mean? Because Nas came out this week with King's Disease too, and this man is looking for
Man.
another Grammy. Hey, bro, like let me preach real quick, bro. Hold up. Shout out to Nas real quick. Shout out to
Shout out to
Nas.
that transition. Shout out to that transition. Jesus.
Yeah.
Jesus, that Euro getting
I
crazy,
I
man.
I want to shout out Nas because I want to thank me. No, I'm joking. I want to thank Nas because man, to follow up your first Grammy, this man's been doing it. What do you say, 30 summers, 31 summers now.
Yeah.
He's been doing it for this long. He got his first Grammy, and then he followed up with another album that I believe should win a Grammy, and King's Disease
Oh yeah.
too. I just want to talk real quick on Death Row East, and I don't know who has the vocals on there. First thing I hear, I thought that was Don Toliver. I feel like Don Toliver has all the vocals on the back side of this album. I try to look through credits to
Mm,
figure out if that was really him.
yeah.
But Death Row East may be my favorite song ever, just because it proves his storytelling and like the beat, like it was like Hit Boy,
Yeah.
one of Hit Boy's best beats. On top of that, it was
Yes.
just like so dope for him to like go in the middle of talking and like
Hmm.
it's just it made me feel so great because it was like, man, like this is a real issue. And he says, I had run-ins with Suge. Most niggas with Suge. I was like, yo, this is just it's I don't know,
Yeah.
like Nas's flow on that, I just fanned out so much. And it was like on a week where we thought we were getting Donda, the Weekend releases, Logic came
Yeah.
back, and some other people
Yeah.
came out. This Isaiah Rashad, shout out to him, shout out to Dave East, like, but it was just like, man, this is so dope. Like I just couldn't stop, and I listened to the whole album, man. It was a run, and I was like, man, this is just
Yeah.
everything that I don't know, man. You on the hills of Jada Kiss, on the hills of, you know what I mean? It's like maybe no one's doing hip hop right now. And I'm saying that because it's just like the number one album right now is Kid Leroy. No disrespect, but it's just like it's bits and pieces of our culture, and it's pulled into pop culture. And Kid
Yeah.
Leroy is like what I imagine Justin Bieber would want to be if he's a rapper or in between there, or
Right.
like a blend between Justin Bieber and Post Malone. Like it's like I look at Nas like come in, and I honestly, bro, like then you get Lauryn Hill on the album, and then you get a Boogie with a fire verse. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, like bro,
You get
I
Lauren Hill. You get
Lauryn
Lauren Hill
Hill.
rapping her ass off.
Yes,
Like,
and telling you like the only thing you could talk about is me being late. Like, bro,
yeah.
Charlie Wilson coming through, bro. Like this whole album, this is not. I
Yes.
don't get excited about as many rappers releasing things like that, like true rap. But this was like two
Yeah.
master classes back to back, and I went back to King's Disease number one, back to and coming to King's Disease two. Like, bro, I was so I'm geeked. Like, sorry to nerd
Sir.
out and whatnot, but it's
Oh
just
no, no, man. Go off.
it was
Go
super dope.
off.
So
Go
so
off.
King's Disease two. Fire. I'm probably gonna go back through this once Wayne and Malik get back in town, and they gonna
Yeah.
cap on somebody else who released this week that was super dope, and I'll be like, no, like Jack Harlow and Pooh Shiesty could not mess with this album at all. Seriously. So
Yeah.
yeah, man, that's all I gotta say.
And it was like I think I've said it, or like I've like said it a couple times, like like Nas wasn't like like the most like influential person for me growing up. Like when you talk about Nas and Jay, like
Yeah.
I listened to more Jay, which like it's like it's almost like a Coke or Pepsi thing. Like like you go
Yep.
one way or the other. And If you like Pepsi, cool. I like Coke. There's like no beef. There's like no issue.
Yeah.
But hearing King's Disease, when we covered that album, I think it was just, you know, like just a switch for me to like go back and dive into more of Nas's catalog and realize how long he's been doing this. And then we see he gets nominated for a Grammy for Best Rap Album, and to win that, his first, or you know, like the first, like the dude has put his time in, has dropped classics, which, you know, like you ask any Nas fan or like any like hip hop head, Nas has been dropping classics, has been dropping shit since, you know, like before time, essentially. But to hear King's Disease, to hear Hit Boy, who we talked about before, who I've just kind of admired since his, you know, like since his project, and to hear him on Detroit 2, to hear him on King's Disease, to just see him just like take over the producing game, but also like to even get on there. And I mean, like, he was featured on the album, and like he talked to shit on one of the tracks. I forget the name of it. Composure. I don't know the name of the track, but we had to go back and listen to this to like to just see the confidence, which the confidence like wasn't needed there, but it was just like, hey, Hit Boy, let's run this back. Like, let's go get another championship.
Yeah.
Let's go get another one. And like, you know, like from 1 to 2, like they're just both for me, some of like my favorite projects. Like I can go back and pick songs like from like his older albums. And like, you know, like I get like why that's one of the best, or like why that's that. But like for me to dive into these two albums, Blast is someone that we've been talking about heavy on the pod, to see Blast on the album. In that song in specific, he says, you know, Sunday, my favorite day of the week, to make it Sunday to Sunday, that shit is deep. And I mean, like, you just sit there and like take like bits and pieces of like certain songs like that, and you're just like, damn, like, one, like as a Black man, to make it Sunday to Sunday, that shit really is deep. Like there's so much shit that still can stop you, like in this world, whether it's, you know, getting pulled over for whatever, just like whatever, like you just go through so much from Sunday to Sunday, and like you just trying to make it to the next day, you know, you just trying to get there. And you know, like we're just a part of that, where like something like that just feels like a lot more heavy. And it's like, damn, like, yes, like Sunday to Sunday, like there's a week, but there's so much that can happen in a week that, like, you know, like midweek, you could be like, damn, like, I don't know how I'm gonna get there. You know, like, I don't know how I'm gonna make it the next week. So just like shit like that, like, was like, this suit, Nas, he did this. He did his thing.
And anybody that I would be happy to jump, that to go back and forth with anybody on why this album. I mean, it'd be hard to turn this one down, man. But shout out to him.
Yeah.
Shout out to Nas, man, for a great album, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
In terms of music, we missed a lot over these past 2 weeks, so we're happy to discuss. You know what I mean? Y'all send some stuff in and let us know. But the Weeknd was the next thing that I want to talk about. Take My Breath.
Oh yeah.
I felt like this was all right. Go ahead, bro. Yeah, you go.
Man, The Weeknd is one of those artists which, you know, like I've talked about it with After Hours, where the man has just kind of like, the man knows how to like, he knows how to read the room. He knows how to read the room. You know, like we all, or like we talked about it before, like we want the Weeknd that was that toxic, you know, you know, like wipe your nose off my keyboard, you know, following me. Yeah, like we all like that Weeknd. Like You know, like we enjoy that music because it's just something that we can, whether we like relate to it or not, it's just like, damn, like that's that nigga. Like he is that nigga for like putting that in a song. But now he's like, he's still that nigga, but he's like able to read the room and like know what works for him. Like he just dropped After Hours, which again is not an album that I truly like or that I go back to, but you hear it everywhere. Like you hear it everywhere. And like at the end of the day, if that's what he wanted, then he succeeded. This new track is kind of following or like it's kind of like amplifying that wave of the After Hours album, where I think this is called The Dawn or whatever. But it's he's 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 figuring out how to so 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 if After Hours did so and so numbers, he's like, all right, thinking how do I make that better, or like what's my next step? And like this this just kind of shows it. Like it's an amazing song, and I'm not like doubting the song at all, because I think the video on YouTube got whatever, like millions of views within minutes. But again, it's just not what I want from The Weeknd, or like what I like want to listen to. But it's not me dissing the track. It's just not it's just not what I want. But the track, again, like I can respect how, or like his, and like I don't know the nigga's thought process, but like
I mean, well, and it's not his thought process. Like I imagine he's very similar to Rihanna, no disrespect, but like got a team of hit makers in there. Like knowing that St. John wrote for Rihanna, and comes out and whatever you think of that Space Jam hit, Just for Me, or like with the right push, that could have been a hit, like for real. Like if he would have put that out himself without the Space Jam, I think that really could have been a hit, because it's got SZA in it. I'm surprised that he gives that up, or maybe it's the way you get SZA on your track, he gives that up to Space Jam, because that's a hit. And also, I just feel like with The Weeknd, more writers behind the scenes, because his content is just so much different. I think that's what people miss more so. It's not the way that Weeknd perform, because I think he's a better singer today, but I think it's just the writing content and the toxicity that's not going to be okay on a public or on a pop radio. To be able to hear a song like The Party and the After Party today from The Weeknd, it's going to be an album cut. It will never make it to like I don't think so. But you got to think about what he's talking about in these songs, because no matter what, The Weeknd is really going to be The Weeknd. And I think that's why he's got, honestly, among the people, he has one of the dopest artist names there is, period. Like I cannot, you can't put it anywhere else. Like, you know, you could say, I don't know if people get, like, if you could say The Weeknd got his name from anything, you know what I mean? Like, J. Cole, you've seen other artists do the J, or the first name, initial. Drake, people have used the middle name. If you looked at Kendrick Lamar, that's his real name. Like if you look at, you look at other people, The Weeknd is one of the coldest names out there. So I think that if it stays in that, he stays in his wheelhouse. But yeah, that's super dope. Anyway, I like the song, dude. And what I was getting at is like, man, I don't know who's writing these things behind the scenes. The problem with The Weeknd is the same problem as Drake. You listen to that Smiley and Drake, sooner or later, Gucci and Prada don't go together. But it start hitting, like you just like at some point in time, you start listening to Smiley, and you're like, actually, this is kind of fun. What do you say? Either way, him and Smiley.
That's definitely been a track too. That's like, all right, like okay, like Drake doing his thing, and then all right, like it's vibing,
No, because when he said Prada and Gucci don't go together, Louis and Dior, I swear to go back, I was like, no, bro, like you don't have a flow on this. And then Drake comes in and saves it. The level is just too advanced. The bezel is Tiffany stamp. I don't know. So I feel like Drake came in and saved it. It was like right after. Supreme Dreams put that put that video out too. Did you see that? It was literally the next week, and this comes out. I was like, man.
Oh yeah, yep.
Yeah.
I did watch that one. He was like, I don't care. I got Drake. I got Drake.
He say whatever. He said, like
it don't matter.
Oh my god,
crazy.
But yeah,
crazy.
With that, we can't go one podcast without mentioning Drake. Same thing with the Weeknd. Belly released Better Believe. He also had an interview with New Rory and Maul podcast, just talking about depression, talking about things that he went through. I like Better Believe. Coming out of the same camp as the Weeknd, I felt like it was neat. Yep. I need to mention this. I liked it. Shout out to Belly, man. Great content.
Yeah, that was a great track. I didn't know that was dropping. I was on my way home from work one day, and I saw it, and I was like, oh, like the Weeknd, Young Thug, Belly, okay. And I was like, damn, yeah, that's your boy, Slime.
Sure.
Man, yeah. That was a great listen.
Yeah.
That was a great listen. That has been in the rotation for sure these past couple of weeks. I find myself going back to that track a lot at work. So
yes, sir. Otherwise, man, next up, Logic releases Bobby Tarantino, Trace 3. Got a chance to listen to this. I listened to it all the way through in one sitting, and as much as I love to hate, man, not gonna lie, I really like what I listen to, man. Logic, I will say, man, he puts together great albums, dude. Like for real. I hate to, and I know that those have been listening since day one have heard it all from Daryl with Logic, but dude, it was just like a good flow. Like he, you got to be able to sit and digest. Like he can rap, man. He can rap.
Yeah,
he can rap. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's just kind of one of those like real, recognized real type things where, I'm real. I was just listening to Good Kid, Mad City the other day.
What took you there? You in LA? I mean, you out there. So yeah, I get it.
Yeah. Like we had a conversation about like what's your favorite Kendrick album, and I was like,
yeah.
I mean, like, yes, like there's some great ones, but like the one that really got me was Good Kid, Mad City for sure. But I can go down a whole rabbit hole with that. But Logic, yes. I listened to that at work as well. Man, just again, like he can rap. He's been consistent. I'm never believing anybody when they're saying that they're retired. Because
Logic, that's what you put him up there with Jay-Z.
Man. People say that they done, and then they just, like still gotta like drop music. But there's like obviously some people that are, again, like Rihanna, like who knows? Like there's a 1% chance that we get another album from Rihanna.
I hope
unless
so,
it gives.
I hope so. If Jay-Z, if Kanye is 6.6 billion, and then turns the net worth and putting out, bro, Kanye got the coldest rollout ever. You know what's crazy though? Like I was thinking, man, the expenses for the full concert, like him staying there, the expenses for both of those concerts probably paid for him staying there and putting this album together. It's just genius, bro. Like he probably made enough money off of selling out two of those. You know what I mean? To both of those things. And how bad I wish I lived in Atlanta to know this. I would, man. Oh my gosh, I would have been there in a minute. But I love it though.
I was just with somebody too that went to one of the somebody went to a Sunday service and showed me like some videos from Sunday service, and like even like to see like a video of that, which was like that was a long stint where like he was going like city to city, like doing the Sunday services, and I mean like for free. And like I was in Detroit and like literally was at a conference, I think, and I was like, yo, like I can leave this conference, catch an Uber to go get the ticket when it drops for the free, and then come. Like I was scheduled to go back home, but I can stay and figure it out and like go to
Yep.
Sunday service tomorrow or like this weekend or whatever the case was.
Yep.
But yeah, it's fucking insane.
Crazy.
Fucking insane. But
Yeah.
shout out to Logic. Shout out to Logic. I did like the listen. I will keep some of the tracks in that general rotation over the next couple of weeks for sure. So
yeah, most definitely, man. Outside of that, this week, other projects worth listening: Jack Harlow and Pooh Shiesty, SUVs. Thought this was pretty straight, man. Nice little listen, and to see two different type of artists on the track.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Jack Harlow, bar for bar, he's doing well for himself. He's doing well.
He is doing his thing.
All of This by Georgia Smith. Did you get a chance to listen to?
I did not hear this, but
I did not.
I did not listen to this, but Georgia, she's one of them ones where I'm excited to hear whatever she drops. So I'm definitely adding this to the rotation for sure.
Most definitely. She came out with this featuring Gold T Beats. So yeah, man. Sleepy Hollow dropped something this week. I know that's your guy. You get a chance to peep your boy out?
The 2055 remix.
Yes, the 2055 remix, 2055 and 2055 remix. But yes,
with Coi Leray.
Coi Leray.
Man, it is not that good. She has been
come on, man. A new artist. That's why people can't feel her music. You know what I mean? That's what's supposed to happen. Yeah.
Man, she's not been sitting well with me lately.
For real.
And like it's nothing like, you know, like I just need to, you know, like it's like wine, bro. Like it's like it's like I don't like Chardonnay. But I'm still down to try different Chardonnays to find the one that I like. And like that's kind of like the same with Coi. Like, yeah, like she had that hit where, you know, like that was the shit. I'm off the better things.
That's all you need. You just need one of those.
Yeah.
You just need one.
Yeah, exactly. But like I'm still gonna listen to her. Like she's still like one of those artists, like one of those new artists. Oh, like it's featuring Coi. Okay. Let's see what it sounded like. Oh, like there's a remix with Coi. Yes. And like it's not even that she didn't, or like she wasn't like doing her thing on the song, which she could have been doing, but like it was like, was it needed? I don't know. Like the track was fine like without her. So like it's definitely not a diss, but it's just like, all right, like I'm gonna still dive into your content, your catalog. Like I'm excited to hear you because you did have that hit that was like boom. Okay, like she popping. But yeah, I did not like the remix, but I like the original.
That makes sense. Dave East and Harry Fraud released the Hoffa album 2 weeks ago. But yeah, wanted to touch on that. Shout out to Dave. Shout out to Harry. Shout out to Dave. He's gonna be in a new Wu-Tang series as well, coming out September 8th. I gotta finish that. Shout out to Pops for keep reminding me. You get on the Shy yet?
No, but my mom was I talked to my mom earlier today, and she was like, I'm about to sit and watch The Shy.
Yep.
So my mom is on it. She's enjoying it though. She is really enjoying it. I actually asked her for her login, and my mom got me writing passwords down. She don't got it on her phone. I asked her for like a login to BET because she got like the BET Plus or whatever.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. And like I asked her, I was like, hey, like, what's your login for this? Like, I'm trying to watch, you know, like something. Like, I know you got it. She was like, I don't know. Like, it's all done on the TV. Like, your uncle did it. I was like, Mom, like, you gotta write. You gotta put it in your notes or something.
That's hilarious. You know what I was thinking, bro? What you gonna do for the Lions games?
Bro, I was just talking to Katie about that the other day.
Yeah.
Literally yesterday, I was just talking to Katie about it. She like sent me something on Kelly Stafford posted something. Yeah.
Shit. That's a lot of
yeah. She sent me something, and then I called her. I was like, that just made me think. Like, Lions game started at 10 here.
Bro, I got the Xfinity. You got my Xfinity password.
My mom. Well, like I know my mom's logging for that, so like I'm straight on that. But
Yeah.
it's just those other things like BET, like her Showtime and her Stars. I'm like,
Oh
write down
yeah.
your
Oh yeah.
logins.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that's but the Lions games, yeah, we literally just talked about that.
That's crazy.
Like the Lions get like 1 or 2 4 o'clock games, which will be a 1 o'clock game for me.
Yeah.
But the rest of them, that's 10 a.m.
Well, that's the thing, bro. When I was living in Chicago, like I loved it because like they had a bar there that was actually like dedicated to the Lions, and I went there for like 3 games, and they used to get super lit. There was a Grand Valley bar in Chicago actually. That ass like
I,
Grand Valley
I
students
think I
would go there
remember
to
you
watch.
telling me that. Yeah, I
Oh my
think I remember you
gosh,
telling me
bro.
that.
So yeah, like I'm not saying that this Detroit Lions bar in Chicago, but in Napa, but the cool thing is you get to watch the games earlier because they would come on at like noon there, and it was
Yeah,
like you got the rest of the day. Just think if you in Cali like 10 a.m. to watch the Lions game and it had to rest
yeah,
it. It's like by the time the Lions
yeah.
games go off in Eastern time zone, it's 4 o'clock. Like your
Right.
Sunday's done. Like
Yeah.
so
Yep.
yeah, that'd be super cool, man. Otherwise, let me get to the rest of the music real quick before I let that. So Isaiah Rashad released "The House Is Burning" 2 weeks ago as well. Shout out to Isaiah Rashad. A lot of people were waiting for this, and he delivered, I believe. I think he'll probably
Yes.
be up for
Yes.
a Grammy in terms of rap album. Would you can agree?
Yeah. I mean, like when you think of like the Grammys and like who they pick and like how
Yeah.
they like go about their like selections. I mean, like D Smoke,
Smoke.
you know, like he was nominated
Smoke.
last year.
Smoke from him. Yeah. Yeah.
And just or just looking at that and Freddie Gibbs was nominated. So like
Yeah.
just like so like just the albums that they pick, I I think this is like this is one of them albums where like okay, like TDE like as a collective has been waiting to drop or like someone like we've been waiting for someone to drop like a full project. And
Yeah.
like to get this from Rashad, yes, Reason dropped last year, but Isaiah Rashad has been one that, you know, like a lot of people like, saw that hype or like some of his first few songs and mixtapes. And it was like, all right, like, okay, like this dude got next.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it definitely is one of them ones where like it'll be up there. Like he has the backing of TDE, like he has that in his back pocket to be on that label. And then like to come with a project that actually has some good shit. I mean, like has some solid features. The track with SZA and Black, obviously one of my favorites, just because I fuck with Black a lot.
Yeah.
But to also see him hold his own like throughout the album was super dope. So
I love it. I love it.
It was a solid listen for sure.
Yeah, for sure, man. For sure. Shout out to him. Our artist of the week this week is Young Nudie, who is also Young Nudie. He released Rich Shooter this past week. I don't know if you know, but he is 21 Savage's cousin. They are cousins.
I think I might have heard that.
Yes.
I think I might have heard that.
Nudie.
Okay.
Yeah, big known. He's known for his mixtape Slime Ball 1, 2, and 3, I believe. But yeah, out of Atlanta, Georgia.
He was on a couple tracks on the Dreamers, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. He had a nice little flow on the Dreamers too, but I think he's got a lot of respect, man, in terms of hip hop.
Yeah,
for sure. So signed to RCA Records out of East Atlanta. So yeah, shout out to him. Otherwise, we better get into this into these bottled up questions and
let's get it.
Yeah, let's do it. Hey, what's going on? It's Music in a Bottle podcast, episode 66. We're here.
We back
for the wind down section of the podcast. Bottled up questions. First question. Who do you feel the men's USA team, though they won gold, who do you feel the USA team was missing on the men's side this year?
One
player.
It's man. Like we kind of mentioned it earlier. I would probably say, like thinking it's super hard because you got to think of the USA team because there's so many players that go back and play for their countries that would be a great addition to the USA team. But like I mean, Dame obviously did his thing, but like to have like a double power like at that point, like whether you start Dame and Steph, or like or like Steph starts and then Dame comes in and does the same thing that Steph did.
Yeah.
So probably Steph would honestly be like that. That like takes some like pressure off of KD, because now like, like he has Dame who is doing his thing, but like to have like a second unit, and like
Oh
not
my
even a
gosh.
second unit, like like they play at the same time, or they don't. Like
Yeah.
Dame starts and then Steph comes in, like whatever the case may be. Like you have a
Possible.
point guard that like, or you have 2 point guards that are able to truly navigate the game, and
Yep.
and then you and then you have KD, and
Yep.
then you have a Devin Booker, then you have a
Zach
like a
LaVine.
Draymond, a Zach
Yeah.
LaVine, then you have a Drew
What?
Holiday that's able to shine based off of who's around them. So
I
I
agree.
think having that yeah, Steph for sure.
I think so too. I think that I would have loved to see a lineup that had um I like Steph, Point, Dame, Chris Middleton,
Mm,
KD, and a JaVale McGee or a Draymond. 'Cause I think Draymond can guard all positions.
yeah,
I would have loved to see that. And I think if I didn't go with that, it's easy to say LeBron from a leadership standpoint, but I think that LeBron may be not needed right now. But I think
yeah,
I would have loved to see an Anthony Davis or somebody that could stretch the floor at that
yeah,
size. Like I can't. There are some bigs that did not play that could have played for sure. I don't know.
right. Oh yeah,
I'm pretty sure that Pascal Siakam, Joel Embiid are from the same area. I don't know. But
yeah,
I'm very surprised I didn't see them this year. Yeah, and I
yeah,
don't think
and
Giannis didn't play this year, did he? Or they didn't play. Greece didn't make it in, and
yeah.
yeah. But yeah, I think that
And
would have
like
been
you
cool
got
to see.
Bam, who's, I mean, like Bam is a great player, but also like,
Not there yet. Yet.
yeah, he's just not like he's a great player, not there yet. Doesn't have like doesn't he doesn't have that like physical size as like a Rudy Gobert, or
Mhm.
as like some of these centers that are playing for their country. And like, yeah, like it was just a small team. It was a super
Yeah.
small team. Granted, people were playing for their countries that are great centers in the league or great power forwards. But when you think of like an American power forward or center, like like you kind of have like some slim pickings there. And then like the players that you want to play, like the ADs, you
Yeah.
know, that's just not, or like whatever they got going on is what they got going on. So,
Yep.
but
Exactly.
yeah, but
I
yeah,
love it. I love it, man. Next up, who has been your favorite? What has been your favorite event this far in the Olympics outside of basketball?
man, outside of basketball, I enjoy like most of the track events. Although I was watching some equestrian the other day.
Oh, all right.
uh, I didn't really enjoy that as much,
No.
but but man, watching the track events is just super dope. Obviously, we've like come, like come from like a modern era of like watching like Usain Bolt just like dominate everything.
Mm-hmm.
And now you just kind of get this new class of fast. Like Jamaica is still doing their thing.
Yeah,
But
definitely. Especially the
you know,
Jamaican women. Yeah, shout out to them.
yes, they did their thing this year for sure. But yeah, like the track events are always cool. Like that was always something that like I always wanted to get into during high school.
Yeah,
Like I wasn't a runner, but there's so much to track that like there's something for everybody. Whether it's shot put, whether it's like like the
yeah,
long jump or whatever the case may be. But I think those are some of the best events because like it's just so quick, and like literally like you see the race and then in 20 seconds or like 60 seconds it's done, and you have a winner for gold, silver, and bronze. So like the track
yeah.
events have always been one of my favorites.
I love it. I love it, man. I'm gonna go with. I think it was really cool to watch wrestling this year. Wrestling.
Mm,
But they got busy
wrestling.
for sure at
Yeah.
wrestling. Who do you have next in the verses?
Who Who you got? Who you got?
I got Chris Brown and Usher.
Chris Brown and Usher. That's okay. Yeah. I think I would like to see. I would like to see another or like they've already gone. But Chris Brown and Usher would be dope. I would like to see again, like you think of like some of the greats or like some of our favorite artists. Like I would just like to see one for the hell of it, like like just like pre-notions of like like okay, like this is a New York battle. Like I would just love to see like just like artists that are still doing their thing do it. So like when you think of artists that are still like big in the game or that are doing their thing, even like I know J. Cole is probably not gonna do a Verzuz, but like if we're not getting an album, to see a J. Cole and Kendrick just like give us what they have during a Verzuz battle, just like for the hell of it, just like fuck it, like we got nothing else to do, we might be back inside with this Delta variant, but but
I like it.
but yeah, that's like something that I would like to see.
Most definitely. What has been? I'm gonna go first on this one because I'm throwing this at you. What has been your go-to album this summer? And what you've been listening to?
Oh yes.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead and take a little second for this. But I will
say, I'm ready.
You go.
I'm ready.
Yo, you go ahead.
I'm ready. You looking malnourished.
Oh wow, you aren't a big Tyler, but I mean,
Hey.
It's crazy.
Hey man, crazy how life just changes, right?
Yeah,
crazy how things change. But that Call Me If You Get Lost, man, that's up there. That's up there for me.
Wow, you really
that's up there for me.
Yeah, man,
that's up there for me.
I'm thoroughly impressed. I mean, I didn't think you had it in you to switch up that quick, man.
Nah, man, he did this, man. That is up there. That is up there. That is up there for me. That is Should I just ran 2.5 miles yesterday, and I played Run It, or like I just went through the album, and like I got to Run It Up, and I was like, we gonna run it up, and I was getting the miles, and I was like, all right, let's get it. Yes. So that's my favorite album. I mean, the off season is great, but like what I've like gone back to and have like just enjoyed listening to, like just to truly like enjoy it, has been that Tyler for sure.
Yeah, I got respect for that, man. It's really hard. I mean, right now I've already played the Nas 3 times. I'll give you Tyler because I can't really go back on Tyler, but yeah, I might have to stick with the Nas right now because I paid.
Yeah, for sure. Oh yeah,
for sure. Nas it is.
Oh, yeah.
Last surprising artist, somebody that's different that you waiting for an album from.
I'm waiting. Someone that I'm waiting for sure. Is to see what happens after a Chasing Summer. So I'm looking for Sir to drop, something soon. Because that was like one of my favorite albums when it dropped, and like I was late on it, but when I heard it, I was like, damn, like this is a masterpiece.
Yeah.
So like to see what's coming next from, and fucking that whole TDE camp like needs to just everybody. Like drop more shit. But Sir, Sir for sure for me.
All right, I got Fabio Born.
Fabio.
Yeah. Did you hear his freestyle?
No.
Oh my gosh, I'll send it to you after this. All right. Yes. Try to run, but they caught me. He said, he said, I've been thinking and I've been reflecting. I got a question for the Reverend. If you kill a killer, do you go to heaven? I was like, all right, bro.
Oh.
Yeah, I was like, man, come on, bro. You yeah, for sure. Bro,
he had to do him like that, Fabio.
Yeah.
He had to do him like that.
if you wear safety, can you load a weapon? I was like, I don't know, man, but I'm sure you're gonna tell me. I don't know, man. Tell me, bro.
You
Bobby.
You tell me.
The fifth foreign. Let me know.
Man, shout out to
man.
Fabio.
Shout out to Fabio
for sure.
Man, this week we got old school, Jamal.
Is it old school?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What have I been listening to old school? I've been listening to what did I just listen to? I'm gonna throw on there. I'm gonna go blank on the screen real quick so I can pull it up, but you go first.
Good. Do you, bro? Do you?
You go first so I can pull this up.
Yeah, man. This week I'm gonna go with it's funny because we was just talking about him before this. I'm gonna go with "Lost Without You" by Robin Thicke.
Okay.
Where
is
Also, shout out to Pharrell for bringing in Robin, rebranding Robin Thicke and putting his career on the right path for sure. So Robin Thicke, actually, I mean, he is Alan Thicke's son, the actor. I don't know if you knew that, but Alan Thicke is.
Oh no, I actually don't. Yeah, I don't think I did know that.
Alan Thicke is his dad, but yeah, Robin Thicke is he was an artist and he was like just singing. I mean, he was on his like Michael Bublé stuff beforehand, and then Pharrell put him with "Wanna Love You Girl" was the name of the song, and after that, his career kind of took off, and then they came back for Blurred Lines, right? That was that's what I think that might have been his biggest song of his career. That still pops off at parties right now. So yeah.
I got Teddy Dandy.
Okay.
Nope. Dandy, Where Is the Love? It's a song that has been sampled multiple times.
Yeah.
But I was listening to that the other night. I just want to make sure I have that artist right. So give me one more second.
Black Eyed Peas.
Trevor Dandy. Is There Any Love by Trevor Dandy. I was listening to this the other night with some guys drinking some wine, and it's just a song that's just been sampled on countless tracks. I just found out that Mac Miller used the sample on the Swimming album. I think Kanye's used it in certain like features or something like that. But yeah, Trevor Dandy, Is There Any Love is my sleeper this week.
How's it? Is there any love? No, is that?
No, you have to play it after this. You have to play it.
I got you, bro. Yeah, this beat has been sampled a ton.
Yeah,
had to play it. Had to play it for the people that could hear it. Yes. But yeah, is there any love? Definitely. Yeah. That sounds like an amazing vinyl. I might have to cop that on Amazon.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, how was the wine, man? How was the wine?
Man, the wine was good. Shout out to Mountain Tide. Shout out to my guy Scott. Happy to connect with you. I'm proud of what you're doing. Again, we had the 2020 Carbonic Petite Syrah. This is his ode to like a Beaujolais wine, which is a light-bodied, more fruit-forward red. Like I said, you can chill it. This glass that I'm drinking right now is not chilled at all, but it's still pretty good. Like I said, you get like a lot of fruit notes. There's a lot of red fruit notes there. It's light. And like I said, it's just something that you're able to just kind of go enjoy like on a hot day or like a hot summer day and just like enjoy a red without thinking about it. But you definitely do get a lot of fruit notes. Like I said, it's light bodied. It's like the tannins aren't that apparent, like they're very subtle. A nice sipper for sure. Definitely on this nice Sunday. I would go ahead and give it an 8.5 for sure. I've definitely been a big fan of Beaujolais, just kind of since masterclass that we did, or like shout out to Juice for Justice as well, by the way. It's been a year, just over a year.
Yes.
It's been just over a year since we did the Prosecco Masterclass. Yes.
Yes.
It's been just over a year.
We see him. Shout out to Summer, man, and shout out to them. They're full fledged going open.
Yeah.
I still haven't met. Man, I've been thinking once you come back, we should probably just pop in there. We should
yes.
Yeah, most definitely.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
Man,
the wine was good.
Amazing. Dancing Flame. This red blend hit. Like, this is something that I'm definitely gonna have to buy a couple bottles and share with the people. But yes, shout out to the red blend out of Chile for sure. Dancing Flame, Hoja del Salado. Man, this is out of Chile. I can't find the winery, but yes, the Prestige Beverage Group is imported by blast.
Love it.
With that being said, this is episode 66 of the pod, Music in a Bottle
66. We here,
guys. Yeah, yes, most definitely.
Y'all thought we was done.
Yeah,
I thought we was done. I thought we was done. Come on, man. We here.
Are you not entertained? All right, man. All right.
We're here.